because we have a recap finally.
Alrighty.
Leon is not having a good time. He is a wanted man with little in the way of liquid assets. His ferry arrives at Westport, and he decides to barter his ill-gotten goods for passage somewhere that is not here and preferably very far away. Sadly, he runs into a couple of thugs on the way to the port, and his mouth gets him into trouble. While he manages to kill one assailant, the other one shatters his arm, but Leon manages to escape by the skin of his teeth, finally collapsing outside a temple where the clergy tend to his wounds. To his horror, Leon learns that his arm may never be usable again, but at least he also finds out that the temple will protect him from the Goldsmiths' Union. It takes many weeks for Leon to heal. During this time, he does menial tasks in the temple and studies his spellbook, while revenge festers in his heart. He also learns of a hot spring that the temple holds sacred. Leon decides to go on a pilgrimage there and hopefully find a way to heal his arm. And so Leon sets out, hoping the Lord of Flames will find him worthy and restore his broken body. Has Leon found religion? Will the Lord of Flames find him worthy? Will he escape the Goldsmiths' Union? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. If our viewers would like to hear more about how I'm doing, you can show up to the pre-show and try and divine my mood by the sound of my breathing as I fuss with Roll20 and totally ignore the viewers.
I think that tells you a little bit about his mood right now.
I'm doing well. Let's play some D&D.
Your camera is shifted. We can see this lovely
I didn't necessarily mean
bookshelf.
Yeah, I know, right? Now I just got to figure out what to...
Well, we just got to move the globe over so it's more in frame.
Sure. I've also got like some little bugbears and stuff that may be more in theme. That's what I was actually just realizing.
Dragon Ball?
You know, I don't know.
Dude.
It's sealed away even from me. It's probably in that shelf behind me in the closet. But that would be a good thing to display. I mean, I could produce the Dragon Ball quickly, but I'm all tethered into my.
That's fine. No, we'll do it another time.
I'll find it during the break. How about that?
All right.
So I believe we just listened to a recap.
We did.
I heard it earlier today.
Yes. So Leon is not doing so hot.
Well, I mean, what makes you say that?
He's at half hit points.
So. Well, okay.
And with a ruined right shoulder.
Yeah, so about that, there is, I don't know if I'd call this an addendum. I mean, I guess it's new information that Leon will just be noticing. So I believe we wrapped up last session, like the last scene we had was you confronting Pyre, who was the priest.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was hearing myself echo for a second, but then it sounded like it went away. I think we're good. I'm going to keep going. All right. So okay. Pyre was the priest in this monastery in Westport that you were taking sanctuary in while you healed. And you just had a confrontation with him, right? You revealed that you were a wizard, and he was like, "I think you got to go," and you're like, "Me too," and you depart, right?
Yeah.
That was how we left it.
Yeah.
So I think we'll pick up right about there. But about your arm, I think you probably have this brief confrontation. You cast the spell, whatever. We took care of that last time, and then you turn to like walk down the steps after this. I think you got to go, and you turn to leave. You look down and you realize that your right arm has been paralyzed effectively for the last 4 months. Was it that we passed last episode?
Yeah.
You didn't even really think about it when you cast your Fist of Stone spell, but you cast it on your right hand just out of habit. And you look down and you see sort of moving to your right are these stone digits on your paralyzed right hand.
Ooh, the fingers are moving?
Yeah.
Stony fingers are... Ooh.
Yeah, you have, while Fist of Stone is activated, you appear to have control of your right arm again. Yeah, you can lift up and move your right arm as normal.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you feel a little more complete. You know, it is a fleeting feeling, but you will also have temporary HP with an asterisk next to it, as in like it's associated with your hand. So expect me to
Right.
enforce that.
Okay.
Okay. So
Leon notes that.
Yeah. So where is Leon off to? You were here in Westport. Oh, I think, and then we'll also have the torchbearers come running after you down the street and hand you like some supplies for your journeys, right?
Oh, how nice of them.
Right. And I think you may have. Did you already mark a week of rations? And we'll also say some torches. Do you have that on your character sheet already?
I have 1 week of rations, and how many torches should I add?
How much do they weigh in this edition?
1 pound each.
1 pound each.
Yeah, for some reason
like
we're using
5.
like disposable torches instead of reusable torches.
Yeah, that's
here.
what I was even thinking, that it would just be 1 torch.
1 torch with then some oil to refill it.
Yeah, is it typical? I think so. It's like a metal torch.
You might have like a wood,
or like a wooden handle with like a metal cage on the top or something.
Yeah.
That you need to like rewrap oil-soaked gauze or something around.
Right, or you can maybe like re-soak the same gauze in oil, depending on how you want to run it, or new gauze or whatever. But yeah, but like the torch apparatus isn't something that you would just like chuck.
Yeah, well, yeah, you've been interning as a torchbearer for the church for like 4 months now. I'd say you're an expert on the subject.
All right, I'll carry.
So you can just say 1 torch and then a couple 3 flasks of oil. Let's say each flask is a pound, and the torch itself is a pound. And then each flask lasts I think 6 hours is the usual.
I think torches are half an hour. Oh no, 6 hours. Right, yeah, I think, and a lantern and oil will provide like 6 hours of light, but maybe you don't use a full thing of oil to fix a torch.
Sounds good. Yeah,
cool. We're looking here at the map. I'm in Westy Porty.
Yeah, I think maybe we got a little out of timeline. At some point you purchased this map. Was it while you were, I don't know, last episode you bought a map. Here's the map.
I have a map. And I want to take a ferry and head upriver as far as possible. I guess I want to be getting to... I don't know what this town... Is this Ashlock here?
That is indeed. That town and the lake itself.
Okay. Well, I want to head towards Ashlock.
Sure. You took a ferry into town. You can find the dock where they board and take a ferry out. You want to give us a description of Leon as he stumbles down the street?
So Leon's dressed in his robes. I think I might have... If it's been 4 months, I'll probably still be wearing my knockoff monk robes. I don't know.
You've got a new set. You came in bloodied and battered.
Oh, that's true.
They were torn off of you in order to like get to your wounds.
All right, so
you've got a new set.
Clean set of real monk robes this time.
They're not necessarily any higher quality than your previous robes.
Shut up! They're monk robes. They're real monk robes. They were given to me by a monk, and they're genuine, Ryan. These aren't cheap Chinese knockoff.
Roll a religion check for me.
This is a matter of faith. All right, I'm taking this on faith. It's a real robes, man.
Okay, in true religious fervor, you ignore
all signs.
You ignore reality in favor of your faith.
Yeah.
You ignore the truth in favor of your faith. All right. I was just gonna say, yeah, whatever. I was just going to say that Pyre is actually a monk. But
Shut up. They're monk
irrelevant.
robes.
These are my authentic monk robes.
Yeah. So he's got his monk robes. He's got like his arm in a sling.
Well, right now you're 18-100. I think your what you call it? Your Fist of Stone probably burst the sling.
Burst the sling?
Yeah, you turn your fist into stone, gain 18-100 strength. Yeah, and you think it's just gonna stay? Well, I don't know.
I mean, it's not like the sling is like skin tight around it, right? It's just like a loop of cloth that it's hanging in. Right? Isn't that how slings work? It's just like a piece of cloth, a triangle piece of cloth with the points
I had
here,
imagined
the big
it
end here.
bound like a little chicken wing.
Oh, like tied to my body.
Yeah, although the way we described that scene, you were showing your Fist of Stone to Pyre.
Yeah. Okay, so if it's bound on me, it does make sense for it to burst. Absolutely. If that's the case, then I'm going to need to stop.
You can tell me how you're reattaching it as you leave, and as the spell expires. So the spell it lasts for what, like 7 minutes or something?
Something like that. Yeah. I will. I guess I'm gonna have to take a quick skip over to a shop to get a piece of cloth.
You've got.
That'll just make like a normal sling that ties around my neck and kind of dangles down front.
Like you've got the cloth that would have been in it already. So
cool. And I'll just make a regular front sling that just hangs in front of me instead of ties to me.
So you change. Okay, last week you said you wanted it hidden. You were insecure about it. Now you're letting your.
I was hidden like inside my robes. That makes sense. Like I just have the sling on underneath my robes against my flesh, and then the arm is like inside the robes, so it's still like hanging in there. But, like the robes are over it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. We can get you tangled up in your robes later. Okay. I've got a visual. That's fine.
Cool.
And you've got your backpack.
Yep. Got my backpack
two
over
bags,
one arm.
probably 2 packs now, right?
2 packs.
Unless you stop to reload the pack that the torchbearers ran after you.
Oh, right, because they brought me food in a second pack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'll have my backpack. And is this food in a backpack or in a satchel? Or
yeah, it's in like a little satchel. A small, yeah.
Cool, so then I'll dangle the satchel on one side and then the backpack over one shoulder. I have 1 dagger, which it would be weird to wear on the outside of my robe, so I guess that 1 dagger is like tucked into my robes. Maybe it's like tucked into my sling, the sheath and all. Okay,
so this robe is like a muumuu, like you put it on. It's like a tube of fabric that you like slide into with armholes, if that makes sense. So it's not like you can reach in and withdraw your dagger. You'd need to like squat and girdle your loins if you're familiar with that expression, and like get down underneath your man skirt and draw your dagger. But
right,
so you've got a belt on under your robe, or
okay, yeah, I see what you're saying here. Yeah, there's no like opening to fish in. It's not like a bathrobe robe.
Yeah, and like typically, like you would have like given up your worldly possessions and you just like wander around in this robe lighting torches or whatever and praising the light the light of the Lord. It's not really it's not really designed as an adventuring robe.
Well, then I guess I'll just tuck my dagger into
I mean, the logical thing is just to have a belt on over it. But you sounded like you were like concealing daggers up your back.
Yeah, I want to have a belt on over it, but I don't want my dagger to be on my waist. I want to be able to pass as a traveling friendly priest.
I mean, it looks like a priest. Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just toss it in my backpack.
Okay.
Or, you know what? No, I'll take that back. I want to put it in my food satchel. So that way it's a little bit more accessible. If I can pretend to offer someone food and then take a dagger out and shank them. All right, so that's how Leon looks, and his crew cut black hair is now like a couple of months grown out, so it's a little bit longer. It's not, like all the way down to here, but it's coming out a little bit. I think he has recently cleaned up his scruff.
You have not. You are bearded and haggard.
Then I'm bearded and haggard.
Where would you have shaved?
at the temple? I assume the other priests shave.
No, let me think. So Pyre definitely does not.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a long bushy beard and long hair that he like ties back in his robes or whatever, but like he hasn't trimmed in years. One of the other torchbearers is a girl, and I think the other is like a teenager who like before, so young that he doesn't need to shave
well
yet.
Then I
don't think
this,
you
like,
had like a
ugly,
private bathroom.
messy...
I like it, and I guess you've only got 6 charisma, but like I don't think there would have been a place in the temple where it's cool for you to just leave a pile of beard trimmings. I guess you could have done it and lit it on fire. Do we want to have a quick flashback?
It's fine.
To
I just
you,
have like I'm scruffy and messy, and my hair and my beard are just kind of like all over.
I think
the
that's the logical. I mean, it's been 4 months. Yeah, you look like hell.
Okay. Yeah. Well then,
you look like a hobo monk. I mean, you could stop and like shave over
it's fine.
over the river.
I'm happy to just move on. This will help my disguise, I suppose. And knowing
that's how I was imagining it, right? Because Leon is a wanted man by the Goldsmiths Union.
Yes.
And it is spoken that, Leon went into hiding and became a mad monk, or at least some know that. And even some in the Union know that. But I think still it's not like common knowledge. So in my mind, that's like part of how you're able to get out of Westport.
Yeah.
Is that you're very well disguised. You spent 4 months hiding out in a cathedral.
Yeah, I mean, I know
growing
people
your beard out. Yeah.
came by to look for me and have kind of been spying on me the whole time, so I'm still on edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I make my way towards the dock.
Without trouble, you're able to return to the ferry dock. This is on this river, that feeds from Ashlock into the sea. You took this ferry in, so you've been here before, no trouble. You can board again. What time? I think you probably missed the ferry. Yeah, I think you probably. We can have you we can have had this departure early in the morning if you'd like to catch the ferry heading up.
Yeah.
If you'd like to make a speedy exit.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what I'll do. I'll hop on the ferry, tell them I want to go to Ashlock.
You want to pay for the whole trip in one go, and we can just fast travel to Ashlock, or how do you want to do this? Do you want to hobo your way night by night up the river?
I will pay for the whole trip up front, and then we'll see what happens. I don't know. I hope to stay on it the whole time, but never know what the world's gonna throw at your feet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my plan, Jack.
Okay, so I believe it's 5 silver per leg of its trip.
And that was 3 stops, right?
1, 2, 3 stops to Ashlock. So if you pay 15 silver, we can head to Ashlock as quickly as you would like.
Well, I know Leon's journey is going to take him a while. So yeah, I'm going to pay the 15 silver and head to Ashlock.
Depends how long it takes you to die.
I'll pay the 15 silver and we'll head to Ashlock.
Okay. There is the this is the same ferry you took down. So there's a bar. There's the gaming tables. You can fail charisma checks to lose money if you'd like. I think you know the drill. But as I said, if you want to just chill out, 15 silver, we can fast travel.
Actually, I did want to make a stop. I wanted to stop in that same town that I broke into the noble's house and fucked up his shit.
Let's see. So there are 2 towns between here and Ashlock. The first one.
Now I remember. It's the one closer to Ashlock. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's I think it was called Swamp Wash or something. Yeah, Swamp Wash, Swamp Water, Swamp Wash.
Sure.
Something like that. Nameless town between Ashlock and the two rivers, I think was the name of the second one, where the 2 forks of that river diverge.
So I'll pay my 10 silver and get off at Swamp Wash.
Yeah, so that's the second one. So that's like 2 nights in. So you pay 10 silver.
Yep.
To get there. Cool. What do you have planned for this poor town? So this is the origin of the Mad Monk, right? Yeah. This is where you showed up in your monk's robes, murdered a noble and a bunch of guards, and
I didn't kill any nobles.
Ran off into the woods into the night.
I killed nobles.
You held him hostage.
Right.
And
right.
Took his sword. You still got his sword in your backpack.
That's what I'm doing as I'm returning the hilt to him.
So do you get off in this little
I get
nameless
off in
dock
this little town and
there's a new guard on the docks.
I asked the boatman how long they're gonna be here. Are they taking off in 5 minutes? Are they is it an hour-long stop? How long is the stop here?
It's just long enough to unload and load.
Okay.
So
then I will
typically an hour, which is too long. Like you wouldn't have time to go to the noble's house and back in an hour. You can roll a charisma check unless you have specific questions.
No, I'm not gonna. I'll do my thing, and then I'll spend a night in town, and I'll catch the second ferry, the ferry the next day. Or no, it would be 2 days. Ferry comes every 2 days, so I'll have to spend 2 nights in town.
It comes every day, one way or another. Yeah, you'd have to spend 2 nights here, or roll a charisma check
to convince them to hold the ferry for me. I guess I can try. Yeah. So I'll say to the boatman, I have some unfinished business with Lord Winthrop. I have something to deliver into his hands. Would you be kind enough to hold the ferry for me?
He looks at you.
I will.
Who are you talking to? You're talking to the captain on the ship. You pop into or the rudderman, the rudderman or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure. Or are you talking
I would think I'm actually talking to the guy. There's someone on the boat who, as the boat pulls to the dock, helps tie it up and helps the passengers on and off.
Okay, yeah. So you're talking to I think it's the guard. It's probably the guy who's replacing the guy that you murdered.
But there should also be someone from the boat who helps in this procedure.
Yeah. Okay. There's the guy that tosses. Someone on the boat that tosses the rope over.
Yeah. There's a.
Okay. So you casually mention this to him as they're tying up, and he looks at you and pauses for a second. If you don't have anything to add, you can just roll your flat charisma check. You get a 5.
I don't know how I got a 5 on D20 plus 6, though.
Check your code. It says D20 plus 6 plus blank equals 5. This is weird. I don't...
Okay, there we go. I think I hadn't put anything in for the modifier. I think the roll was 5 plus 6, but it didn't... Yeah.
Okay, but
it was a 5 and 6 was an 11.
Okay. All right, so he shakes his head and says, we're here to load up about an hour. If you can't make that, next ferry's in 2 days.
I nod, and I'll step off the dock and look for somebody with a horse. Is there anyone with a horse nearby, or anyone that is a rickshaw driver? Is there any sort of transportation?
Yeah, there's there's a cart. You can see a cart tied up a block away. It's not a fast horse. It's a draft horse.
A draft horse would still be faster than walking, though.
Yes.
So I will go look for the cart's owner.
Yeah, the owner, someone responsible for it is unloading goods from the back at the general store down the street. Actually, they're probably loading them onto the ship eventually. So you're a smart guy. You're able to make those connections.
Does the cart look like it's done being unloaded, or is it still?
No, the cart is parked with the horse attached, and they're unloading goods from it. Some of which are going to the street. Some are going to some
well, shit, that's
stockpile on the dock.
No one's gonna let me take their draft horse as they're unloading supplies, even if I look like a monk. I guess I will just pick up my feet and jog to.
You're gonna try and do that in an hour. So I think we can. Is it typically? So typically it's strength checks to increase your speed.
Yes.
But constitution checks after the first. But I think you can do it for a number of rounds equal to. There's way more complicated running rules than I wanted. Basically, I'm trying to figure out whether to put this down to a strength or a constitution check. Because I don't want to deal with the whole running rules, but I guess we can look those up.
Right. You roll a strength check, you can move at 3 times your normal rate. Strength check at -4 is 4 times your normal rate. Strength check at -8 is 5 times your normal rate. Failing means that you can't increase your speed.
That for...
Continued running requires a con check every round with penalties that depend on how long the character has been running. There's a -1 penalty for each round of running at triple speed, -2 for quadruple speed.
You can automatically go a number of rounds equal to your constitution.
That's 8 for me.
What's your constitution's only 8?
Yep.
Then you cannot actually jog the whole way to the manor house. You can
Is it
jog
a mile?
about half the way. I forgot what we said. It was 20-30 minute walk. So I would say that's like 1.5 miles or something.
Okay.
Maybe a mile as the crow flies, but it's up like this windy country road.
Okay.
So you can jog about half of it, and then you're gonna have to start rolling constitution checks.
Sure.
Every
so
round.
I'm first gonna, instead of jogging, I'm gonna try and push my strength, my running to running triple speed instead of double speed, which is just, I believe, a strength check with no penalty.
Yeah, so you can strength check, but that will make your constitution checks harder.
That's fine.
We're not gonna do the total. Okay, so you can do a strength check to see if you can run faster, and I think
I make my
so you
strength
pass,
check.
so you're able to run at triple speed,
and that just means -1 penalty for my con checks.
Yeah, let's just say that. Let's do a con penalty at -1. And then you can probably do this in just a couple of con checks or fail. Yeah, we'll see.
I'll fail my
so
very
you fail
first
the
one.
first.
Yeah.
So we can say that that's like 8 minutes at triple speed. So you probably get, I mean, you can see the manor house, but your lungs give out and you come like panting to a halt like 5 minutes away. And you take a round off and then go huffing and puffing the last couple of minutes.
Right.
But you probably gained, if you can do that on the way back, you can probably make the ferry, actually, depending on what you need to do here, how many people you need to murder.
All right, so I just come up to the house and with my one good hand.
Yeah, so no, hold on. Who's the DM here? Remember, there's a stone wall that's just overhead,
right?
Set back a couple hundred feet from the house, and there's a footman that mans the gate.
All right, well, I walk up to the footman and give a wave with my one good hand.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see if he recognizes you. Or he's everyone who recognizes you is probably dead, but let's see if he's heard of you. Sorry, slanted table, so I'll give you a reason on that. He indeed does. So he spots you and immediately sounds the alarm. So like you go waving at him from, I don't know what a reasonable distance is, like 100 feet away maybe, whenever you can make eye contact down the road. He spots you, probably spots your monk robes, and goes scampering up the hill, hollering as he goes.
Well, I'll come up to the gate.
Yeah, so you reach a locked gate, and you can, by now, like, the footman's practically at the house.
I'll unsling my backpack, shuffle around with my one good arm, pull out the hilt, and just kind of set it on the ground, and then rebuckle my backpack because it doesn't zip. Toss it on my shoulder.
Yeah, you can hear a loud commotion at the house now.
What
do you mean the mad monk's back? And you can see like a handful of footmen assembling at the door, and probably the lord poking his head out behind the. Yeah.
And I then just start on my way back down to the boat.
Sure.
I'll walk for the first little bit to catch my breath and make it look like I'm not fleeing them. I'll give it 5 minutes of walking.
So you casually turn and walk away.
Yeah.
And
I don't look back as the house explodes.
Sure. All right.
So after 5, let me know if anyone comes after me.
No. I think no one does.
Okay. Then I'll pick up my pace and
you
try
leave the Lord's, the hilt of the Lord's broken sword behind.
Yeah. And I will try and jog my way back to the
regular jog, or are you going to try to increase your
well, I
speed?
feel like I'm going downhill here, so a regular jog ought to do it.
Sure. So you can make it a number of rounds equal to your constitution. So give me some constitution checks to see when you fail.
Right away.
You do fail the first one, but I think because you just, you were there for 2 minutes. You, showed up, you put the hilt. Did you, stick it through the fence?
No, I just kind of left it on my side of the group.
Left it on the road, and you dropped it from your inventory on the outside of the gate and turned and walked away.
Yeah, no conversations to be had.
So you were there in 10 minutes. Yeah, you're fine.
All right.
Yeah, takes you a half an hour, all things said and done. Probably 35 minutes or so with the walking on either end. But huffing and puffing, you pop through a couple of small thatch buildings on the shore of this river.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Swamp Wash and Swamp Water?
Swamp Wash.
Swamp Wash.
That's what I've written down from earlier today.
Can you pop out this dirt road, and there, sure enough, the ferry's still at dock. You've got half an hour if you need to resupply anything. Otherwise, you can.
Nope. I go back in, rest my lungs, and anxiously look out the window for the guards to come and arrest me and take me away.
They do not. By the time the ferry's leaving, there's no sign of pursuers. And dropping 5 silver, you can make it to Ashlock.
Okay. These things are all done then. I have removed the silver from my character sheet.
Cool. Is there anything you wish to do in Ashlock? Why don't we grab...
Ooh, are we there already?
You can speed across the lake. So by nightfall, you'll be in Ashlock. I guess you have never... Have you seen it by day? Let me see if I can... Which screen do we want to go to? Maybe I can just bring the map over to you. Okay. So you head upriver a little ways.
Mm-hmm.
Out of this bog town, and make your way into Ashlock. It's a pretty large, impressive lake. I think you've seen it before. So, yeah, you even wrestled with sea otters, I believe, or with giant otters on the south shore, huh? Did I?
Otters? I don't think we've done anything with giant otters.
Spoilers, whoops. The Dobar Chew.
Ah, right. Yeah, those were somewhere around here.
Yeah, and you can see the sort of lush forest to the south.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, most of the way upriver, you can, yeah. And we will, if you'd like to pop on into Ashlock, you get there that night.
That's what I do. Is this map in front of me, the map that I have? Is this the whole map that I have?
Yeah. Yes,
this was worth a platinum?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's on paper.
I'm getting scammed.
It's on a piece of paper. It's drawn. There's letters. Some illiterate man had to write out the names of all these places. He even got most of them right.
For this piece of shit? That's all right. That's all right. Leon's a changed man. Changed man.
This is probably the first piece of paper you've ever owned. Oh, I guess you got your spell book, but that, yeah, I don't know. Ownership's a little questionable there.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. So I want to go and ask. I guess as we're getting off on the docks, How big of a town is Ashlock? Does it look like it's a large town? Small town?
It is. You'd be loath to call it a city. It's about as big as Westport just was.
Okay, so it's reasonable size then.
Yeah. Comparable to Ashenholt. I mean, it's not like a seat of any. It's not like a county seat or anything like that, but it's a large trade hub. So, population of many thousands, and it is walled.
Well, I'm gonna
and
make
then
my
there's
way...
a large, this wooden dock complex on this side. From here, the ferry it heads sort of south and then up a river towards Ashenholt Keep. But I believe you are getting off on the docks here, and you're going to head overland.
Yeah, I'm going to make my way towards the east side of town, away from the docks.
Okay.
And I'm going to look for... It's evening time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look for an inn as close to the eastern gate as possible.
Okay, cool. You're able to find an east side tavern that suits your liking. On your way in, there's a little notice board, and you see wanted posters, amongst which is one that reads, "Wanted Roy for being badass." And then next to that, there's one that says, wanted, pugilist for whatever your crimes were. It's like witchcraft and probably treason, obstruction of justice.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of ignore those. They'll make up any claims to get me. I ain't done nothing wrong. Except for a bunch of people I've killed and stolen from, and but aside from that, murder is not up on the list here.
Yeah, and the Leon on the sign is a clean shaven, clean cut, thuggish looking man. Nothing like the Leon that we see before us.
Not this haggard, wounded man who's just like a big scruff ball.
One-armed scruff ball.
Yeah. The one-armed thing is definitely going to help me get around. So I'll kind of ignore the sign after
no one knows.
A few moments looking at it.
Yeah, I think not many know that your arm is paralyzed, huh?
Yeah. And I'll just go to that tavern.
Yeah.
A inn, if I can find one.
Yeah, you can get a room for 5 silver. More if you would like to eat or drink particularly well. Or less if you'd like to sleep on the floor with the drunkards and rats.
No, I'll pay the 5. Can't do math. 15 minus 5 is not 20, it's 10. I pay my bills, and I want to ask the innkeep if there are, how far Brenton is, and if it's a well-traveled route by farmers and that sort of thing. Is there a lot of trade between here and Brenton?
Sure. Yeah. East Road is well traveled. Get to Brenton, you gotta cross the canal, and he looks to you and looks at your missing arm and tries to size up whether he thinks he could make the journey. Maybe all that goes over Leon's uncharismatic head.
Probably. What's the canal?
Strip of water. What separates one land from the next?
Leon looks at him like he's an idiot, and he's trying to hold back the thought that this guy's an idiot, but that probably only makes it come to the face a little bit more clearly. Thank you, good sir. How far did you say it was to Brenton?
You walking?
Hoping to catch an ox cart.
couple weeks, he says questioningly.
I nod slowly.
Depending on how swift this ox is.
Thank you. Would you please have someone wake me at dawn? And then I'd
Fair
go
enough.
crash out.
I assume that will be a thing. Human alarm clock.
Yeah, dude, back in the day, the job was called a knocker. And you would hire someone and they'd like come outside your window with like a long ass pole and like tap on your window to wake you up. And then you'd like, you tell this person to be woken up at this time, or you would hire someone would know like to wake up these different people at these different times. They'd like run around the streets like knocking on their windows with these big ass long poles. Mm-hmm. Human alarm clocks, man, back in the day before the machines took all our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
That's
yeah,
my
with
spiel.
your 5 silver human alarm clock, little knocker boy is included
Excellent.
to wake you at dawn.
All right. Then at dawn, if it comes around, if I live through the night, which is not always guaranteed.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, you do live through the night. And you are woken at an ungodly hour to a knocker at your door.
All right. I struggle out of bed. Still getting used to my one arm. I guess it's been a few months. I'm probably fairly used to it right now. And like roll some copper coins out the bottom of the door.
Sure.
Um,
And you can get going. You're trying to hitch a ride with an ox cart.
yeah, I'm just gonna
If an ox cart is not going to move any faster than you do, unless you're encumbered and you're looking for a place to set your bag.
No, I'm just looking for
Yeah, company on the road you can find.
company on the road.
It was okay.
And then maybe a little bit of camouflage, like wounded monk traveling in the
Sure,
ox cart
yes.
might look
So
a little
you're-
less suspicious.
Yeah, you're up at dawn. You get the carts, taking the fresh haul of fish or whatever
Mhm.
over land, inland, and you're able to just hop in with the crowd and make your way east.
Sure, I will kind of come across...
Are you trying to specifically latch on to one group of shippers, or just be in the
I'm going to try and
company
find like an independent person, not someone with like a chain of ox carts, but like, mom and pop shop ox cart thing.
Mhm.
And offer them some coin to ride on their wagon with them. Even if I have to ride in the back with the turnips or whatever, or the fish, I'm just going to see if I can't offer someone some coin to take me on as well.
Sure, it's not going to increase your movement speed,
That's
but
fine.
you can shell out copper to ride on the back of fish carts. It will probably actually slow you down at some point. Like, I think you could keep moving quicker if you hop off. When the wagon gets stuck in a rut.
I think you're right, but
You're probably
opt
better off
to not hop off. I will take the slower route with the oxen in order to kind of travel in company and keep an extra set of eyes out on the road.
Yeah,
Long guy could get ambushed. I'm not too confident about my fighting capabilities right now.
Yeah, so leaving Ashlock, there's about a dozen wagons and twice that on foot in sight of town. And they eventually sort of stretch out. At some point, the wagon you're in gets a wheel caught in a rut in the road. And they've got to get it out. It sounds like you stop and you help them. I mean, at first they're like, no need to worry about it.
It's okay. I'm fairly strong with my one arm, and get my shoulder under there and lift with the shoulder or something.
Okay, so you're slowed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll a perception check.
That's a 24.
Yeah, so your wagon is stopped here.
Well, I need to sort my skill checks and stat checks that I've made.
Yeah, this is. You'll at some point have to show me how you do this. Oh, is it? Can it like measure whether it's a fail or a pass?
Yeah, so I passed a strength check, and I
Oh, that you
failed
mean.
2 con checks. And I passed a perception check. Yeah. Oh, and I failed a charisma check, too. Cool.
Cool. Oh, the angled table. Whew. All right. You spot with your like keen eyes as you're like getting this wagon out of a rut. So the group that you were with has kind of kept on going. Like they didn't really know each other. You were just kind of clustering for safety or out of habit or convenience or whatever. But they'd moved on. You're sort of the pair with this wagon full of fish, and the wagon and the horse are here sort of alone on the road for a second, and you spot like off to the horizon a group of men like setting up an ambush or something. You don't know if they're highwaymen or something, but you see off in the hills there's thuggish characters sort of encircling your lone wagon.
Leon notes this and continues to help with the wagon, but then says, like under his breath, "I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I believe there are predators circling us right now. Try not to catch their attention, or they'll surely strike."
Even pointed out, your companions cannot see it, and you can't see it right now either. Like you caught someone running between two gullies or something, between 2 hills, and you see very clearly they had a bow and they were looking at you. Maybe it could have been a hunter, but now then maybe you saw someone else. But at this point, you don't see anyone, so you can't even really point out there's someone hidden in that bush over there. At this point, and they sort of look around like, What do you mean?" And he like stands up and he's looking around. Smell of fish permeates the air.
Yeah. Making some notes right here. All right.
So you've got the wagon, I think, cleared up by now.
I give a bit of a sigh. Stretch out my back a bit. Fish out that dagger. Hop back on the ox cart, fish out that dagger, and just like set it next to me.
Okay.
Instead of, hiding in my food bag.
All right.
And
you set it on the fish. I think this is just like a big. It's like open air fish cart. They're like salted fish.
Seems unsanitary.
They're still kind of like, yeah, it really does, and it reeks to high heaven, and so do you now.
That's fine. So I'll just sit on the ox cart and wait for someone to come.
All right. You pick up. You head off, and no one comes. The wagon continues east.
I stop them. If no one launches an attack within a few minutes, I stop the wagon.
Okay.
Good sir. I cannot, in good faith, leave behind this bandit ambush for another family.
So the
the
wagon doesn't stop. It's like bumping down the road, and you turn. You're like leaning over the fish. You're like, good sir,
right,
and it's like, what's that? You can't, and your conscience.
I stop. I just hop off the wagon and bid them farewell. Muttering to myself about shouldn't have given them all of my copper.
Good day, sir.
Grumble, grumble.
Thanks for the help with the rut.
Right.
They go.
All right, Leon is
down the road.
He's gonna test out his new faith here, and I'm gonna walk on over towards where I saw someone running from one thing to another.
Mm-hmm.
Leon's gonna Leon's gonna give these people a stern talking to about banditry.
Okay. So, do you make any effort to conceal yourself? Or...
Nope. I beeline it, wide in the open, right for whoever it is.
So you head towards the hill that you think you saw this brigand running to.
Yep.
Roll a perception check, I guess, to spot him, unless you'd like to be doing something else.
All right, perception check. Here it comes. 29.
29, not bad at all. Ooh. He is well concealed, but your eyes are just too keen. Or perhaps you've been around brigands long enough to know their tricks. But you can see the archer that you spotted, sort of poised in a bush at the top of this hill.
Well, I make my way towards that archer, puffing and puffing as I climb the hill.
Yeah. You start moving up the hill, and then there's a clear, like, rustling in the bush, probably as this brigand realizes, oh shit, he's coming right towards me, and you see the guys sort of stand up and take off down the backside of the hill.
Wait, good sir, wait! Don't run! I need to speak with you.
Yeah. You make your way to the top of the hill.
Yeah. Does he stop
fleeing down the same.
Him?
No, you see him fleeing down the same gully you saw him setting up in. As you reach the top of the hill, and this bush, and you look around, you got a decent vantage of the countryside.
Well, shit. Got off the wagon to try and do a good deed, and couldn't do my good deed. Now I have to walk the rest of the way. Grumble to myself for a little bit. And then I guess I just turn around and start heading on foot back on that same road. That didn't work out, so take it by foot.
Sure, you head back down the hill.
Need this drawing anymore. I don't think this works.
Okay. And as you sort of reapproach the road from this side of the hill, you see three figures sort of approaching from the other side of the road. If that makes sense, from the hills on the other side of the road, and they look like they're beelining right towards you. Their features are mostly concealed in dark green cloaks, hoods drawn. But you can see bulks and bulges, which you assume must be weapons.
Okay. Leon's gonna try and talk to these people about their job, what they're doing. But if push comes to shove, he's got some spells up his sleeve. Literally, he has a fist of stone up his sleeve, potentially.
Okay. Would you like to say anything or do anything before you make contact?
No, I will just close the distance. I don't even know what I'm going to say to these people. How do you talk to people and tell them to stop being a bandit? We're going to find out.
All right. So you walk down this hill. Some 300 feet below, this trio sort of emerges from a copse of trees on the other side of the road. Small little saplings. And they push them aside as they step towards the road. You continue to casually walk down this hillside.
Right towards them.
Yeah, yep. You get about say 120 feet, and the figure in the center, who's about a head shorter than the figure to either side of him, shouts, "That's far enough."
I will pause. For a moment, and then I'll I'll like decrease my walking pace to a very slow.
Yeah, you see a bow being drawn by the man to your rightmost.
My one good arm.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to them. Good sirs.
And yeah, carry on. Sorry.
I just call it good sirs for now.
Okay. The shorter man in the middle pulls up a piece of paper and is left and sort of holds it up at you. You hear it don't look much like the picture. He takes a few steps into the road and tucks the parchment into his belt. Are you the one they call the Pugilist?
I have known many names in my day. Right now, I am just a traveling torchbearer for the Lord of Light. I am on my way on a pilgrimage to the Great Hot Springs. I am here, stopping my journey, to ask you to change your ways and stop preying upon the innocent people of this countryside.
Okay. So, the one you're talking to has continued to slowly edge towards you. You hear the two that he's left behind on the far side of the road whispering amongst themselves, and about the Mad Monk. At least you hear that. Mm-hmm. And then the one who was speaking goes to a blade, a long blade.
There's no need for violence.
He says, Hold your tongue, witch, or I'll
we're here to stop
myself.
The violence, young man. Stop the violence. You're destroying an entire generation of people. For what? Out of laziness? Are you bloodthirsty? Are you just broken? Why do you need to rob poor innocent folks along the side of the road?
Silence! He starts edging diagonally up the hill, moving you're not entirely sure, to get a flank on you or something. He's looks like he's strategically positioning himself.
Okay, so hold on. There are three of them.
And
two of them
he's
to my
drawn
right,
a blade.
one of them on the left, right? This guy's
one of them, two of them in front of you, one of them going for a flank.
Okay, the guy that I'm talking to is in front of me, or my flanking gentleman?
The guy you're talking to is going to flank you.
Okay. How far? Are they all still 120 feet from me, or is there a distance that's closed?
The flanker is closer. He's probably about 90 feet from you, maybe less, and closing.
Okay. I can see where these guys are going. I know that this isn't going to end peacefully. So Leon begins to chant the words to Fist of Stone because
I think we're rolling initiative is what's happening.
And I think we can roll initiative on the other side of our break.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.